Uh, is it Lucknow?
I think so. It's Lucknow.
Yeah,
The,
great. Let's go
yes.
Lucknow.
I think
Lucknow,
Lucknow wants only like four players to play. If cricket was a four-player team, four-player game, so yeah, Lucknow will do great. Hmm.
exactly. And the story for Lucknow is like really interesting. They just if you look at the power play balls per wicket, it kind of just means like they just don't lose wickets up top, and they somehow managed to get that out of Mitchell Marsh. So they had Mitchell Marsh and Aiden Markram going not so gung ho because they're actually scoring slower than the league average. But that's like really curious. I don't think they're going to get that kind of a season out of Mitchell Marsh again. One is because like he's probably more of an attacking batter anyways, and the second is yeah, good luck putting Mitchell Marsh on the ground for 14 consecutive games. And yeah, like all the wickets that they do not lose in the power play, they get it back in the middle overs. Like just look at how ridiculously good they are in the middle overs. And it's not as if they're losing wickets there either, right? Like they do have people who bat all the way through. They had Nicholas Pooran, who was really good. He's probably like the spin hitter in the IPL, right? Like alongside Klassen and Rajat Patidar. So they were really good there. They do regress quite a bit towards the death. So somehow they feel like Gujarat Titans light. They also have like exactly a very similar pattern of doing really good in the power play and then capitalizing on the starts in the power play in the middle overs, but somehow just refusing to score runs in the death. So tell me, Atharva, once again, can this be recreated? Do they want to recreate this? Yeah.
They want to recreate this. There is no other way. Like they are going to well because like without recreating this, because I'll come to this in the end, but they haven't solved their issues in my opinion, like that well. The batting issues, like there are no batting issues because like batting issues were not there because the top four were batting so well. But again, as you told, recreating the Mitchell Marsh form and everything, it's quite hard. Again, Mitchell Marsh playing all the games is very difficult. But
Yeah,
again,
but to be fair to them, yeah.
Rishabh Pant was very like he had the worst season last year. So again, there will be some regression and he'll be good and Mitchell Marsh will be slightly worse off than last year. So on an average, they will have a good season. Like Eden Markham, uh, again, he was quite consistent last year, and Nicholas Pooran, like arguably the most destructive spin hitter you can like any kind of hitter you can find. So again, I don't see much changing with power play. They'll be as good as this in power play. And with again with middle overs, I don't have any big concerns with middle overs because like they have Ayush Badoni who is kind of an anchor, but again he's not that slow. He's a good anchor. Again, they will hope that Rishabh Pant at number three comes good and he does well. And Nicholas Puran is yeah, he's doing well. The biggest worry could be they are heavily dependent on Abdul Samad, and I don't know his recent form, but yeah, Abdul Samad they are heavily dependent on him. They didn't get any good quality international player in at number five or six. Again, this is
Right.
one
So
of
they
the
had David Miller last year, right? Like
hmm,
who did not really do much in the death, but he was like quite decent in the middle overs. Like I think he was playing kind of an anchoring role.
anchor
They
role.
don't
Yeah,
have the replacement to that this year, and a
yeah.
lot of it also came from Mitchell Marsh, right? Like look at the volume of runs that he scored in the middle. So it
Hmm.
is kind of worrisome that whether they'll be able to recreate it again, but hopefully Rishabh Pant balances out.
Yeah, in death overs last year, like Nicholas Puran came good for them, and again, as you told, like Mitchell Marsh played every time. Most of the times he played till the death overs. Like he got out in the death over, but he played till that. And Badoni got set in mid overs and went bonkers in the end. So he did that job quite well. But again, they have left Miller and they didn't get anyone. So they haven't really addressed this problem. They are just hoping that Punt comes off. So I'm quite worried about them, about the death overs part. They are again hoping on some uncapped Indian players, I guess, to do well, like someone like Arshin Kulkarni or Mukul Chaudhary in batting. So something like that. But again, they don't have answers for death over batting. Hmm.
Right. So I think yeah, if you're relying on Abdul Samad, who's like kind of an unclear entity, I won't say an unknown entity. He's been playing in the
Yeah.
IPL for a bit now, but it's kind of an unclear entity of what you'll get out of him. And Ayush Bazoni is an anchor. He played an anchorish role last year. So yeah,
Like
that
Hmm.
It's not bound to improve, but it's not as if they struggled with the bat. The struggle the struggles lie elsewhere.
Yeah,
Uh,
they didn't struggle with the bat, but it was like such an insane season for someone like Mitchell Marsh. So we expect them to struggle, and then
mhm.
yeah, and now let's come to real issues.
Right. So last year, it just feels like, if they batted first and then they went home from, you stopped watching the game from there on, you might really think that Lucknow was the best team in the tournament. But no, that is not where, unfortunately, they had to play the second half of the innings. And with the ball, they just really struggled. So they went with an all Indian attack. That might be shaky to begin with, but they also had like a bunch of injuries going on here, going on there, and stuff. Their bowling attack went at 10.7 runs in the power play, and they were not good at taking wickets either. They took a wicket every 28 balls, so they really really struggled all the way through. In the middle, hopefully they could have gotten things under control with Ravi Bishnoi, but no. Once again, they were the most expensive side to bowl in the middle overs. Last year they played an all Indian attack. Um, and it was not like a top tier Indian attack as well. They were relying on Ayush, who is generally good in the death, but he's not as great in bowling in the power play and so on. They had Mayank, who was probably injured on and off, and Mohsin probably, I don't remember on the top of my head, but I assume he would be injured on and off as well. So they were like the most expensive side in the power play, and it's not as if they were getting wickets either. They were like below average on wickets, and they were just like worse all the way through, right? Like in the middle overs, they were the worst team again. They were not far off from the average, but they were still the worst team. They were going at zero point 0.5 runs over more than the average. And finally, in the death, if you look at them, they are the third most expensive side in the tournament. But luckily, they're not like far off from the average once again. Like they might be the third most expensive side in the tournament, but the tournament average was like roughly 11 runs and over. They went at 11.3, so that is not the biggest issue. But they really struggled to put together a bowling unit that could hold water. It did not help them that Ravi Bishnoi was forgot how to bowl midway through the tournament.
Yeah,
So they did have those issues, but I think they have retooled their bowling attack really impressively, right? They have gotten Mohammed Shami, who
Nokia.
should do a good job taking over the power play. And on top of him, do they have Nokia as well?
Yeah, they have Nokia.
Yeah, they do have Nokia as well. Assuming his body holds up for 7 to 8 games in this tournament, maybe they could do something out of this. And similarly, they have Mayank Pande. Okay, like they have to like pray.
Yeah, they have to play.
Having both of them playing 14 games each, like they can pray all they want, that's not going to happen. But they can at least hope that the Mayank Pande is injured in the first half of the tournament and Anrich Nortje is injured in the second half, so that they'll get at least one of them in the ground on any given day.
Yeah,
And if they do that, Anrich Nortje can be good at the power play at the death and so on, and same with Mayank. Avesh is a really good death option. So bowling Shami up front, Avesh down should be good. I think they've done a good job at retooling. They also have Digvesh Rathi, who was really good last year, and hopefully he has a good season again. And yeah, and of course the part-time nonsense of Aiden Markram.
yeah. With Digvesh Rathi, I hope for a good season and many controversies. It's a fun thing to follow with him. But yeah, with Lucknow, again, we can see that like they literally had no power play bowler. Like they're obviously like Mayank Yadav who can bowl at 155, but he was not there. Mohsin, again, left arm, really good bowler. Again, he was not there. And they, for lack of injury prone bowlers, they got Mohammed Shami and Anrich Nokia. So yeah, so it's great thing they're trying to do something there. But again, we can see that like Mohammed Shami, they have changed the bowling coach. The bowling coach is Bharat Arun, and we know that Bharat Arun and Mohammed Shami are quite close, and that could be the reason that Mohammed Shami transferred to Lucknow. I don't know what magic he can spin with him, but yeah, he has done great work for India when India
Yeah.
was traveling to Australia. So yeah,
Mohammed Shami had a terrible season for SRH last year, but
yeah,
we do really hope that's like a one-off thing. Like he was quite good in pretty much every domestic game that he played across
hmm,
formats, right? Um,
yeah. And about like, if I have to talk about Nokia just played 2 days ago, but that match was the first competitive match he played after that final of T20 World Cup. So now you
Oh,
know
okay.
like how much like we don't know about anything about Nokia. Like anything can happen, but they have tried addressing that bowling in power play by taking like Mohammed Shami and Nokia, like both are wicket takers. Yeah, like it's a very hit and miss kind of a bowling attack. If Mayank Yadav comes good, then everything is great. Again, yeah. Now in middle overs, the real problem was with a guy who is not here because they have traded him, not traded, they have released him, like Bishnoi. They thought that the whole idea was that Digvesh Rathi will play a second fiddle to Bishnoi, but everything changed as season started. Digvesh Rathi came out to be one of the finds of the season for them, and Bishnoi became as like Bishnoi was not able to take wickets. He was not able to contain them, so that was slightly bad part. But also they didn't address that part. They didn't take any spinner. They have gone full into the fast bowlers. So yeah, Digvesh Rathi is kind of a lone spinner they have right now. But again, with him, they used to have Shardul Thakur and Prince Yadav. So, but now they will have Mohammad Shami and
Certainly,
Nokia.
if you are bowling
So,
Shardul
yeah,
Thakur and Prince Yadav, through the middle and death overs, I think you are supposed to struggle there, right?
struggle. Yeah. And again, I think I don't want to repeat my points again, but same thing for death overs. Like, Shami is not a death over bowler, as we know. Like, he's kind of a power play and middle overs bowler. And I think death overs are covered by Avesh and Nokia. Like if they can come good, and again Digvesh Rathi being a mystery spinner he can also contribute few overs to the
That's the good
results.
thing
So
about the IPL last year consistently, right? Like we had a lot of spinners taking up,
yeah,
bowling in the death overs. So somehow it just felt like, you have the Tim Davids, MS Dhoni's, Dinesh Karthik's, Andrew Russells, like there was this class of
Jadeja's
players. Oh yeah, exactly. It's like, they're really good at hitting pace, but they're just not used to playing spin as well.
hmm,
And I think it was just a matter of time before teams finally started bowling spin at the end and then like, making use
yeah,
of this skill arbitrage. And yeah,
yeah,
Digvesh Rathi, Varun Chakravarti, Chahal, when we look at Punjab, those are
Punjab.
like, it was a really nice change that happened in the IPL last year.
Also, I think this happens because the risk factor has reduced because the amount of runs you're scoring against base bowlers before the fear was that if you give to a spinner and gets hit for 4 sixes, the match will change. But right now, pacers are also going for that those many runs in death overs, so that risk factor has in some way has changed because of the whole impact player rule, flat pitches, and many things. So teams are more prone to taking risks. So yeah, we'll we'll hope that we'll see that again.
All right, let's look at their playing 12 and options that they have.
Yeah,
And
please
you
share.
got to tell me if they're yes, no, or meh.
I think I know.
Here we go. So their top four is, well, as good as any top four can get. Mitchell
Yeah,
Marsh, Aiden Markram, Rishabh Pant, and Nicholas Pooran. I do think their middle order from there on starts to become a little bit light. Mukul Chowdhury, he played like 7 matches in Smart, I think.
Matt.
He was really good in those 7 matches. I think he scored at over 160 or maybe even 200. I don't remember on the top of my head. But he was really good in those 7 games, but it's 7 games. Abdul Samad, he's been there and thereabouts for quite some years. Ayush Badoni was anchoring. And if you have like a light middle order of this kind, and if your batting ends at number
Number seven.
seven
Yeah.
without Anrich Nortje can hold a bat, but that is not something
Huh.
that I would claim like he can score or something of that kind, right?
Also, Shami might disagree with him, but yeah, Shami also can only hold the bat. So, hmm.
Fair. And it's not as if they have like a lot of options outside. Do they? They have Vanindu Hasaranga who can come in on a turning track instead of Anrich Nakia if they want. But it's not as if they have like really good backups. They have Mohsin Khan for Mayank Pande.
Hmm.
Wait, Mayank Pande? That's the guy I play cricket with. It's Mayank Yadav.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was going to
right,
remind
but
you you're mispronouncing his name, but yeah, that's fine. Mayank Pande Yadav. Hmm.
exactly. So once again, low production cost, guys. The production value here, guys. Like we gave our, we prepared an ad hoc web spreadsheet and then gave it to ChatGPT. Though Mayank Pandey is not ChatGPT's fault, it is mine. But here we go. Anyways, but yeah, you have Mohsin Khan. Siddharth, Manimaran Siddharth is like quite promising, but right, he's not like a mainstream bowler. I think he did quite well last year, but I don't know if I want to rely on him. Like you'll have to start relying back on the Prince Yadavs and co if you want to if there are like a couple of injuries. So injuries is something that I'll be wary about with the bowling unit, but the frontline bowling unit is good. So what do you think?
Yeah, like if this team plays, it's it's a good team, as good as any team. Like if Mayank Yadav plays, but again, there is too much to be desired. Like we still don't know. Anrich Nokia will play the World Cup and then he will play the IPL. So we don't know
Hmm.
like how he will be, how what condition he will be in. Like so, there are too many things. There are too many variables. The injuries will decide their future. Most likely, the injuries will decide their future. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I
is
mean, if injury is going to decide your future and your team has Mitchell Marsh, Anrich Nortje, and Mayank Yadav,
there is no it's
that
quite
is not a great position to be in.
not a great future. Yeah. But yeah, we'll hope. We want to see Anrich Nokia, Mayank Yadav like bowling like 150 Ks or from both sides. It'll be a quite a sight to watch. So yeah, if you can see that, it'll be very good
Oh
to watch.
yeah, right. The fires from 150. Yeah, that should
Yeah,
be
like
quite fun.
you'll feel Shami to be a slow bowler in that case. So yeah, that sight, yeah, it will be exciting.
Yeah, it'll be a nice conversation they'll have in the nets, right? Like Shami would be running and like, hey Shami, like stop bowling some cream puffs here.
Yeah. So, but yeah, let's hope like for all of us like cricket lovers, like we see that we can see them both running. But yeah, lot to be desired.